Hello again, everyone. In this video, I wanted to compare the basics between DNA replication and transcription. DNA serves as a template to make more of itself and to also make RNA in the process of gene expression. And sometimes those processes can get a little confusing and overlap a little bit. But let's take a look at the differences and similarities between each. You can see here that for replication, you're going to obviously be using DNA as a template shown here. So because you're using DNA as a template for both replication and for transcription, the DNA is going to be stored in the nucleus. So we'll come back to that in a minute, but you're going to be doing both of these processes, replication and transcription, inside the nucleus where DNA is stored. So if we look over here at transcription, or replication, excuse me, you're going to see the double-stranded DNA molecule. So I've drawn it here as just two strings of DNA bases. So if I take this top strand and make it our template and separate it down here, so basically I've separated the hydrogen bonds, and I'm going to use that top strand as a template to replicate the complementary side to make one new DNA molecule. If you look at it there, what you'll get when you do DNA replication using DNA nucleotides is the following. Now from this, you should see from the top line that basically what we've done is we've replicated the other complementary strand from the parental DNA molecule. And that's all DNA replication is. It takes a strand of DNA, so it separates both strands of DNA and uses each as a template to make more of itself using complementary base pairing. So we're using DNA nucleotides shown here. Transcription, however, which is also in the nucleus, because you're using DNA as a template, if you separate that top strand again and use it as a template, you're going to get a different product. So the product that you're going to get, of course, is going to be RNA. But there's that big change when it comes to RNA that there are no T's. So there's no thymine when it comes to RNA. So here when you see this A in the template, your first inclination might be to match it with a T, to complementary base pair it with a T. But for RNA, you're going to add a U. You're going to add uracil there. So a lot of times what I suggest to my students is that for any time that you see an A, because the tendency might be to put T, just go ahead and fill in the U's there during the transcription process. Everything else is actually the same. So T will complementary base pair with A, C with G, G with C, and so on and so forth. So your RNA sequence would be shown here, and that sequence would separate from the DNA and leave the nucleus to participate in translation. So really the big difference when it comes to replication and transcription is making sure that you're using RNA nucleotides, the complementary base pair. So that's when the U's come into play there. Okay. One of the things that I tell my students is there are no cats in RNA. So the moment that you see the word cat, because of the T there, you know that you've messed up. So there are no cats in RNA. So use that as a quick check to see if you've done transcription correctly. And just going back to what we were talking about before with both replication and transcription occurring in the nucleus, a lot of times we're asking students to think like scientists and to provide evidence and reasoning when making a claim. So what I did in the previous slide is I made a claim that both replication and transcription occur in the nucleus. Now, most students are capable of memorizing that. My students do a very good job of knowing the facts, and you guys can attest to this when you're listening to this. I also want students to be able to tell me why they know that fact to be true. So aside from memorizing something, how do you know that transcription and replication occur in the nucleus? Well, from the earliest days in biology, students learn about organelles, and one of the first ones that we talk about is the nucleus and how it stores DNA. So if a student can recall that the nucleus stores DNA, well, then they should be able to support that claim that transcription and replication happen in the nucleus with evidence. Well, DNA never leaves the nucleus. It's always stored there. And the reasoning for that is, well, if a cell loses its DNA, the cell will die. So the reasoning is that the DNA stays inside the nucleus and never leaves. So any process that uses DNA as a template is going to occur in the nucleus. Okay, so just a little way to check in with students and see if they're thinking about things rather than just memorizing them. Okay, for all of my Swickly Academy students, I'm thinking of you guys. I hope everything is well, and I hope this video helps. Talk to you soon.